Welcome back. Satya, tell us about the presentation you made to the jury. Give us a short summary of that. And I do believe that the jury was very excited and there were a lot of questions being thrown at you.
I'm very glad to hear it.
So let's hear a summary on that.
Sure. So I essentially was talking about Lymbyc, the solution, and really getting into the nuts and bolts of why we think it's going to be useful and how it is different from the existing ecosystem. So I'll just give you a very brief synopsis of that. Essentially, if you look at it, today's systems that focus on delivering insights using big data and AI, the focus is really on extracting contextual information, which means that if I ask a question, it will know where to go look for it amongst the many different sources of data, how to summarize it and show it to me in real time. Mm-hmm. Right? Now, all of that's great. But as a data scientist and market researcher, it's actually my starting point. Because when a business needs to take a decision, they don't just look at information, they need the insight coming out of the information.
Right.
And that's essentially what we built, and that's essentially what's our differentiator. So we've actually built an expert system that mimics what an analyst will do, what a data scientist will do, what a market researcher will do, anyone in an insight function. In fact, it got so challenging, we realized there wasn't even technology that existed that allowed us to do that. So we invented our own querying language. We call it Mira. Mm-hmm. And Mira is a language that we had to invent to actually make this happen. Mm-hmm. And so there are many things that we've done that are differentiators, but really, to me, the heart of it is that we've created a system that is now truly intelligent, right? And does not exist anywhere else in the world today.
Okay.
Which is why, for us, there is no bar to who we want to take it to. We certainly want to take it to India, and we absolutely plan to take it to the rest of the world. There's a lot that we take from the world. I think it'll be great to, have something come out of here to the rest of the world. The whole idea is that, so what? So what happens if we do this? There are three things that we are looking to achieve. One is organizations can make decisions faster. When I say faster, by a very large order of magnitude, not like 10% faster, mm-hmm. but like 70% faster. Act with much lesser resources. Mm-hmm. Today, one of the challenges of adoption of data science, if you see, is the expense. So while India is home to the largest number of data scientists, India itself uses very little.
Yeah.
Because it's too expensive for us. The corporations in US or Europe or elsewhere, they can afford to use the skills of Indian data scientists, but we can't.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And so the idea is that if I have something like this, I ultimately bring down the cost of acquisition and usage by a huge margin. So I create access for mid-market who doesn't use it today and is falling further behind the big boys. And then lastly, just overall quality of life. When you build beautiful things, the idea is that it makes everybody's life better. So not just the data scientists who had to spend a lot of time, like research tells us that the best of organizations spend 80% of the time just mm-hmm. working with the data and getting it into some shape.
Yeah.
And we cut that out and have the analysts focus on really where the meat is, right? It improves the lives of the business decision makers, mm-hmm. because now they don't have to wait around and for somebody to come up with stuff, or realize they don't have enough resources while they want to test some other insights. So that's essentially that's essentially the synopsis of what I was trying to sort of share with the audience.
That's very interesting. And I think it will bring a big impact.
I hope so, yes. Thank you.
Let's take a short break and
Sure.
we'll be back soon again.